Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So like we're just gonna go first thing on the day I always do. So this is gonna be an easy job for us. First thing I always do is just find master timeframes because like obviously that's gonna give you everything you need for what you need to look at on the trades. So what I want to do is I want to go to hourly. I'm just gonna cut this sucker as far back as I can so I can just verify that time frame. Little cheat hack. Yeah, yeah. So like got that there. Got that there. So I just want to mark all these just to make sure my
Yep.
accuracy is good here. And I'm going to actually also just leave this. Mark this one as well. And the only reason I'm marking that one is it's just so close. There's literally no difference here for marking the two. So if I was going to take the wick, I would just take the, like, what are you talking about? 0.1%? Like it's not worth it. You know what I mean? So like even here, 12%. Okay. And then you have what could be the break of the move here. Looks like it may have already tested at 15, but we can't. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do this. Go just so we know like what is happening. Few levels there. And so yeah, it hits the 2 hourly levels here. It goes hourly and then hourly, which is fine. So we can actually beat this one. Need it. So hourly is master time frame. So like straightforward 15-minute levels will hold the move down. So let's just see if a 15-minute levels create like a 15-minute trail. We already know it is because of the other day when we did this. But anyways, I just want to open this up with my logic flow anyways and just be fast while I'm doing it. So you got this one here. That's hit. Next reverse level would have been there. That's hit. Next one here. That's hit. So then the next one would have been there. And that's been holding the move down, actually. That's been pretty perfectly holding the move down. But on the but it's also starting to ladder up. So yeah, like 15-minute levels holding it down. So the first thing I want to do is kind of that. And hourly masters on the bottom as well. So hard closed. That's a 15-minute hourly. That's my target. It's straightforward, straight up. There's my target. I just want to verify what this was because I'm not convinced that this here got nothing there. Let's also check for fives while we're here. Thing there. Okay, good. And I don't really care about any other levels. I'm not looking to knife catch anything else right now. Okay, so you got 5-minute there, 5-minute here. I'm gonna mark this because I am curious to see if for some reason this had laddered the move. I'm gonna go back in all 15s. This could be our hourly right here. That's a 15-minute. So is this. Okay. Dash. Dash. Firms. Ladders. So like obviously we're not using this. We don't need. We want to see. So that hits there. I wonder if there's a 15-minute trail that hits. First level here is the first thing I look at. So that's all right. So that's hourly 15 holding the move up, 15 hold, breaking down. Yep, nope, not taking any longs here. I will look to see what this targeted. Go take a look at what happened here. Right there. This is super important. Because this is some levels being tested here. Minute. Oh boy, I don't like it. I want to find the range. Ugly. You can have two range. This one here. Oops. I'm trying to go fast because I see it's dumping, so I'm just nothing there. Oopsie. No, we have no range trend. best case scenario. That's our back to this range here. That's already broken. You have to hold some higher part of the move. You have to find a 15. This is a 3, which means it's a 5. This is being held down by a 15. That's a 15-minute level right here that's holding it down. We need something to offset. We need a mirror target. Where can we mirror target? Anything here? There's this that can hold the move. I don't. Let's look for a local 15. You've got this. Local 15 here. Holding the move. Oh, it's right here.
Isn't that hourly 59.56 holding everything up?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hourly at 59.56?
Yeah.
59. 59's way the hell up there.
Oh no, 50. 50,
Oh, 50, like 59.56.
Yeah, 50956. Yeah.
Like this? Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about that. I'm just looking where the smart trades exist. I want to go and deep dive this out. Just have to find a target that makes sense. Backside right here. That's your target. Is it right there? That's what I like. 5413. Yep, that's it.
It's a 15-minute backside. Yeah, that's a green. Yeah, cool. Julio.
That's like the only thing polarity. Yeah, like I was just on the hourly because I was looking for the hourly level, but it's all like this is equal to hourly strength anyways.
I had the 15-minute before below that marked like a origin. The level of polarity. Okay, the one after.
This?
Yeah, that's why I had marked
I mean,
on my screen.
you can also go here. Like there's 2 levels there, right? You really want to see like what happens here if there's any. Yeah, there it is right there. Yep. 50,301. That's what I'm doing. 302. Good call, hater. Yeah, that's
Learning
the
from
one.
the best.
The one, my dude. Oh, thank you, man. Awfully sweet of you. Yeah. Like, okay, so can we short this a full 1%? Yep, we can short this full 1%. Where's a good short target? So, like, I don't think you're necessarily. I'm hoping for the collapse right now. So 15 there. Got 15. You're just hoping for this collapse right now. Like, you're not going to get much of a chance here to get into shorts. I think you honestly either just like market short now or just wait. I don't think I like market shorting on the 1 minute hold level low like this. It's kind of risky. Because there's like a full, it's not enough actually to justify a short into polarity like that. Nah, it's not enough. I'm just gonna wait for the target. And I said that's my first target. With that, I'm riding that sucker up. I can tell you that. I'm not getting out of that trade. This hits and you're going for some higher levels up here. So I'm gonna be looking like this at an 8 or 9%er.
Y'all said y'all like the 50,286 back.
12% actually. Might go to here, take the 7% profits. I think I just lock up a 7. Actually, maybe worth it to go for the 12. But that's that break level. No, you know, because I can create an hourly break. You go for the 7. Go for the 7%. Sorry, what was that, R2?
Y'all said y'all like the 15-minute backside 50,286.
Yeah, because it was polarity 15-minute, which means it's the hourly. So always time frame up on origin levels because that was an origin level from the past. So that origin level will mirror to the hourly here, right? Like it's a mirror target of this hourly.
And it's an origin because it's been touched twice.
Uh-huh.
Or tested twice. Okay.
Right there, origin, break over it, back test it.
So now it's flipped 180. It's the opposite.
Yep.
Right. Oh yeah, I remember asking Jude that the other day. He told me yes.
Yep.
Yes, I remember now.
I love that as a long target. I think there's a really good lockup to be like 7% there.
You mean long entry, not target, right?
I'm sorry?
You mean long entry, not target, right?
Yeah, long entry. Yeah, exactly. No, I just meant like target for how long.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like it because you're still breaking ranges up. You know what I mean?
I just love the way you broke that down.
I did it quick
Master
because I want to just get into a trade.
Yeah, I was
And I'm
doing that
hoping it
for a
goes there quickly
while.
too.
Doing that for a while, going back and hitting those levels like that. Sometimes they don't work though. But I've had some bangers like that too.
I'm sorry?
I was doing that for a while, finding those like old backsides, like way back.
Yep.
Exactly what we just did there. I don't know if there's a term for that kind of.
Well, the reason we're doing this one is because it's a mirror target to the, like it kind of executes on all fronts, right? It stays above the range. It backtests the previous range to create the perfect range trend to break in the future, right? Like that allows us to create this right here. So that creates this, like the backtest of this, that creates that. It stays above the range, backtests it properly, and mirrors off of this. So I'm only using this because of the target that was hit at the top. Like if there wasn't this on a 15 here, or like an hourly target here, I wouldn't use it. I would use down here. And then if this fails, I'm looking for this hourly right here. 4 hour, and then the front side hourly. But really want to create the range trend off of this.
Would you
So,
take that 4-hour con?
there's something important to note here about range trend. Sorry to not answer your question here, Hater, but give me a second. Something important to notice
good.
about the understand about range trends is if you hit this hourly target, you're using this as your range trend, or this right here, right? Like your range trend starts from here because that's a part of the range it's testing. If you hit this, your range trend is starting from here because that's the range you're hitting, right? So just to understand, you have two different range trend base points here, depending on which part of the range is tested. If this part of the range is tested, you're using this. If this part is tested, you're using this. So just really, really important for range trend accuracy right there. So whichever range is being tested, that's the base you're using, right?
Oh.
Yeah, really, really important. Haven't taught you guys that. Yeah, like which base to use on range trends. But it should make sense, right? Because you're just extrapolating from the entirety of the range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to the internal range, so you're going to use the base of that internal level.
Yep.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
I mean, I've got my order set. I'm gonna go get a drink while we wait, and I'll be right back.
Beautiful.
I just love it how he does that. It's so sick.
And he likes the 5286 because it creates a mirror point to another hourly. I got that right, right? Did I get that right?
The hourly on top, which is like what we tested on top, so that's polarity.
Yeah, and that up top would be where we drew that hour trend, right?
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Because we hit the hourly level on the top side.
I wonder why he would go for that hourly and not the 15-minute hold.
The hold level lower.
Probably yeah, within the hourly hold, I'll go 15-minute marked, and then I'll go 15-minute origin and a 1 hour origin to be created. It's 22%. So you can, I think, with the hourly cover that whole internal range. That's most likely why we'll go for the hourly, not miss the trade.
Mr. I have it.
Who's Ivit? I don't even know who that is anymore. Does that guy still exist?
I think he's below you in the chat.
Last time I saw that guy, he reminded me of like a skeleton.
Who are we talking about?
Ivit.
I bet. Is
Ivit.
oh, Ivet. Oh yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Con, just to ask, that 1 hourly, so you got the 4 hour mark there as well, and there's a 15-minute mark.
Down here at
I'm
49.
presuming you're going. Yeah, so I'm presuming you're going for the hourly because it's only a 20% gap to the 15-minute. So why miss the trade?
You got this one here, this to
Yep,
that stuff down there. Like I think at this
exactly.
point, if you're going down into this range, you're not really looking to create a break level.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at something like this, if you're going down here, you're creating a possible scenario where the range can break, and you're just going lower
Yep.
and lower. We just broke into a new range above, so like you have two separate ranges here, right? Like you've got this here is a range, and you've got this here is a range. If we had never, at this moment in time, if we hadn't created a new range and broken up, I would be looking more for this, because then I would be asking the question, okay, are we actually going to hit something here to break the move down and go possible reverse this into stuff that's here, right? By hitting these things like that. And this is a scenario where I'd look for that, because it's saying like, okay, you can't, you're trying to break this range, you're trying to break that range, and they're probably time frame mirroring. So you're saying like which range can break Pandora's box mirror, two internal range trends, like you'd have, this one here against this one, something in here that gets hit, right? Like you just have like two time frame range trends like that. And that's where I would look to hit the breaks of this move, because we're already into the next range. You'd almost be breaking this range, going into this range, and trying to break this range. Like it's too much of an ask for one part of the move. That's why I'm really just looking. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like imagine each range has to be broken one by one. Like you have to go here and break this. We saw the 15-minute level there. You have to go here and break out of this. You have to go here and break out of that. Like all ranges, like it's very tough to drop multiple ranges like that unless it's onset by a much larger target. Like if we had hit, if this was purple, maybe, okay, yeah, maybe, but it's not. It's just an hourly. So like if it was purple, then it's like, okay, well, that would make sense that can maybe just be going for a target down here, and then it's like the bigger range. But we are in this range. We have mirrored off
now
the
you're looking
hourly.
at dailies. If that's the purple, you're looking at dailies. So it's like, where's the daily? And then obviously if daily's way more down, then you can start breaking
Yeah.
ranges quite sooner.
Yeah,
That makes a lot
exactly.
of sense.
But right now
that
you're
makes sense.
just
Which is
mirrored from the hourly, so it's almost like other time frames can't really exist.
Yep.
And with this, I really just want to see this backside be hit, because like you've just broken into this range. Only an hourly is holding you down, and I may even consider going deeper into the range, like maybe the front side information here. If this was like a 4 hour or a daily, because at least it would open up what it was from down here. Like you've got a daily hit here. So at a minimum, to offset that daily, if you start zooming out, you want to go to this 4. So if we went to this 4, maybe then we could drop to this. And this is like, okay, you've got a new 4 hour holding against this 4 hour. But with an hourly information here, like you still haven't reached your target from this daily range down here, this range trend, these things down here. And I don't even think this one's important, but they're both important. But even if it's just this one that you're talking about, which is, preset way the heck back here, you'd at least want to hit a 4 hour up top. We've only just hit an hourly. So like I just feel like we're just going here eventually anyways. And if we are to drop this range or go back and test it or break lower into the charts, it's got to be off a plus on minus one, right? Which is your 4 here. Like
and
doing it off the hourly would be pretty obtruse. It would be very, 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 very difficult. Unless the only thing I could say is like maybe you have like
Our origin.
technically this. No, that's hard closed. So technically this could
Yeah,
be the
that's
4
another.
hour right here. Like technically it could be, but you hit an hourly target and then you reverse on the 4. Like that's kind of
That one's
no,
hard closed. It's the one
don't
after.
like it. That one's hard closed. Yep, that one's
Yeah.
hard closed. So it'd have to be this one. Sorry. It'd
Yeah.
have to be that one there. So you hit an hourly to make a 4. So hourly gets hit, 4 gets hit. So that you have a trail of 4 hour
4
levels
hour.
being constantly hit. I mean, you have one there. Maybe shorting
That's
this
one I
might
took
be
today.
good. But it's still pretty internal. Like that's a pretty
Yep.
internal scenario to say like, oh, you hit an hourly and created a 4 from the past. Like it's just a lot to expect this to pull back off. That can happen, yes, but the more likely scenario is that you mirror this hourly to this hourly right here. Like that's just
Yep.
more the realistic scenario because you haven't hit your
Mhm.
target.
And is that why you wouldn't look at like the 15-minute at like 48,664, even though you can create a base range from there?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
So Cotton, how do you apply RA to that level? Like how would you RA this? Because there's just like nothing really around it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't RA this level. I would RA levels like this stuff down here when you're deciding between combos and stuff like that. But hitting a backside level like this, that's polarity. Like you've just got to front run it a bit and hope that you get into the trade. I don't think you RA these backside polarities like that. Like whenever you see them hit, you know, there's
Yeah, right.
4 hour here, backside polarity. This one's never really even back tested. I'm sure there's other stuff in here that's back tested, like lower time frames. You never even get a chance to get in on that one. Backside here, right there. Maybe with you'd have to go too far back in the past to find that. Oftentimes, when you break above it, you usually test it pretty clean like that. Let's look. And that was this, but there's also a backside 15 here. I believe it's actually even a little further back. No, it's that one right there. What happens here? Usually these backsides, they like when they hit, they hit, hold, and bounce like crazy. That's also why I'm going for a larger percentage on this. If we're even gonna hit that down here, we should, I guess. There's levels there. Yeah, see, like, but to be fair, that was also hitting this daily. That was creating this daily trend here. I believe that was what created it. First wick there. So to be fair, you're also creating a daily trend there, holding that. Like, not a lot there. 20% to create a daily trend. It's not a lot. Like backside levels hold pretty well when you're using the proper ones. So you don't.
I think that's kind of big for me though, because like I kind of had this idea that like I don't want to take trades unless I can RA them, but then
Yeah,
like it kind of makes sense what you explained to Hadar right now about like the idea of this level being what's next is really driven on your idea of direction on the bigger idea that's happening. So
yeah, and I think you RA these levels down here. I think you take 2 trades here. I think you take this, and you can get out as long as it doesn't just rip right through it. But I don't see how it would rip right through it here in this scenario. Like anything can happen, but just the chances are so unlikely that it just rips through. And so like you don't RA this level. You take 2 trades. You have this here, and then you RA down here to find your best target based on kind of what happens at this level. Then you pick your target down here. If this thing just rips through and ignores it like it's nothing, something like this, where it just rips right through it like it's nothing, I think I would go for these lower parts of the move. Like if it just sinks right through and does, you know, this doesn't even do anything. But if you kind of go here, bounce, try to hold it, go down, then it's like maybe here, bounce, hold it, go down, here, maybe it goes, then it goes up. You know, so if you just sink right through this, I would RA because I'd be worried about, you know, the reason I would worry is because I would say like I clearly missed something. Maybe that 4 hour is holding it down all of a sudden. So that 4-hour origin, because if it rips, it shouldn't rip right through this. And if it does, it means I've missed something. So if it rips right through it, then I would go deeper into these targets. I would maybe even consider going to the bottom of this part of the range maybe, or I would just take a second gander at all this stuff. Like I would go and extrapolate more here. If it ripped right through, because if it rips right through, it just means, like I said, I missed something and this isn't what I think it is.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? So like if you rip a backside level like that, go double check your TA, because I think you probably miss a level in that case. Or the scenario that we created where there was like a 4-hour origin there, that actually was true and what's holding it down. So it's more of, you know, when that happens and you need to start going into that RA mentality, it's because you've made human error.
Yeah.
You know, because like I did do this chart pretty fast. I didn't do any legacy trends from up top. Like I don't know, I could be completely off here, but I'm pretty comfortable with this. I just don't think we've hit our target yet.
Right. And saying in like the off chance it does start to rip through it, your management at that point to avoid liquidation is basically, are you kind of assessing like how far it dives through it and potentially just, you know, in the moment kind of like maybe taking a back test of that level, or would you kind of just accept the risk of liquidation? Or
On this level here?
yeah, like if it was
I
to like say you
manually,
missed something, or
if you rip through, you're gonna rip through and get liquidated no matter what. You can have a market stop, but I wouldn't. I would just manually, like some trades I like to manually do. Actually, to be honest, most trades I like to manually manage. I don't like walking away and having trades set. I will manually manage most of them, to be fair.
Well, thank you for explaining that.
Yep, and I think this is a decent level, because I think if it holds, you've got like the risk to reward too, right? Like if you're gonna take that level, you know, risk to reward. If you're doing it for 2%, like maybe just get the rebuy and turn it into a scalp. But I think with this, you hit this and you just break up a range. So you know what I mean? I don't really see a whole point to, like, you hit this and you break up a range. That's why also, like, I'm taking this trade and I'm just saying, well, the risk is there's a potential, you know, as a minimum take, my target is 7%. If it goes higher, my target is 12. Like that's good risk to take. You're making 1200% or 700% on, you know, and you can still set a stop, you know, $5 away from liquidation. So you save almost half of your position. So then if you equate that to dollars and cents and you're saving 45% of your position, you know, add another 50% or so, round it up just for easy math. And you're adding basically another 50% because you're only taking half the risk, right? So it's really more like 16 and 24% in retrospect to the risk, right? Because it is implicated like that on the other side too, right? Because you're not risking your whole thing, but you're still making the full profits. So you can set your stop a few dollars away from liquidation, market stop out, save 40% of your amount, which is always recommended. Always do that. You know, when I say don't trade with a stop, I'm not saying like, I'm just saying like don't have 10% or 20%. I like to manually manage that, but I always have a stop. I have it automatically set so that it's always a few dollars away from liquidation. Right. So yeah, I mean, then
so much context, and it's so important. Like all these levels are so different depending on everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And that really also allows for this, because I believe this is what, a 15, that's a 15, right? Yeah, it also allows for this to be like your rebuy target. If you really didn't want to take this, you can rebuy here. But I think you are a lot of times missing that trade versus the value of getting in down here. Like it's probably about 1% difference, 0.5%. I don't think it's worth. I wouldn't take the rebuy, because there's also a big chance you can miss. But if you're really like risk adverse to this level, then you could do that. I think you miss 60% of the time. I think that only executes 4 out of 10 times. Actually, I would say probably less. I'd probably say 3 out of 10 times it goes and retests that hourly. So I think you miss 7 out of 10 opportunities there. Just not even RA measurements at this point, but just logic flow and what can happen. You're just ripping ranges. You're not. This isn't a part of a move that's been stuck in ranges. Thing has been breaking up like crazy and on this nutty run, and you still haven't hit a target up top. So like, really, what are you hoping for, right? Like you've only hit an hourly target up top. You're not in the game of going and testing all the deepest levels right now. You're still trying to find your target up top. You know, so I like this level, and as a backup, I like these down here and are starting to RA these if this rips. But if this rips, I'm gonna go quickly do my TA and see exactly where I can get that next trade.